Alright guys, so I'm here in an undisclosed top secret location. Actually, I'm just in a small little wooded area, but I'm still in a residential area. What I wanted to do is quickly test out this little camp stove. Now I've done a unboxing already, and I just wanted to see how this thing works. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring a pot to sit it on. I was going to boil some water, but of course I forgot the pot. Now basically, looking close, you see I've pretty much hooked everything up. Of course, you need your propane, and it runs from here into the little camp stove. Now what you're going to do from here is you're going to go ahead and turn your propane on, and there's a little clicker that I showed you in the first initial video, and we'll click it, and you have a flame. And I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see that, but there is a flame there. You can hear it. You can adjust the height simply by turning this clockwise and counterclockwise. So I hope you guys can see that. I certainly feel it. My hand is right here, and it's burning pretty good. So I'm going to let this stay here for a few more seconds, and we'll just see how this flame does. Looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is we'll chop down a few branches using the Kershaw Camp 10, and we'll see how this little blade does. Now I've already done a quick unboxing slash mini review on this knife, so we'll see how it does. Now the ground is wet, so I probably picked a bad time to come out here, but a few of these branches have dried up. So here it is right here. This is model number 1077. So let's chop through what we got here. Let's chop through this. See how easily it does this. Alright, so not too bad. Keep in mind, I'm doing this one-handed. So obviously if I'd had my other hand free, then I have a little bit more momentum. So let's put one of these to the side over here. We'll come back to that one in a second. Let's chop down another one here. Not chop it down, but actually try to chop through it. Alright, not too bad. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Alright guys, I'm going to stop recording here, and I'll cut a few more of these tree branches down. We'll put them together, and we'll test out our next product. Stand by. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test out the SOL all-weather Firecubes. Keep in mind, this is a very very hasty building of a fire. I'm in a really bad spot right now. I really need to be deep in the woods when I'm doing this, but I'm kind of in a residential area, so I have to be careful with setting these small fires. It may not start anyway because it's pretty wet out here. I don't know how well you guys can see that. The ground is wet. It's been raining out here. But we're going to see how fast these cubes burn and how long they burn. That's most important. They're supposed to be 10 to 12 minutes. I do have a lighter here. Of go ahead and light this up. Theoretically, the branches should light, but if they don't, it's not a big deal. We'll still stand out here and time it. Let's go ahead. All right, so that started up quite nicely. We'll let that burn, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I figured that since I'm already out here in my top secret location, that I go ahead and test out this little Schrade axe. As you can see, those SOL Firecube is still burning, and we're at about I don't know, about 6 minutes, and it's still got a decent flame there. Now this Schrade axe, I forget what it's called, but let's just see how it performs. I'm gonna cut some branches here. Let's see how this works. It's a little bit hard to do this with one hand, but I'll do my best. All right, we're gonna sit this branch here flat on the ground. This branch is pretty small. We'll see how long it takes it, or how much work it takes to get through it here. Theoretically, this should be very easy for this axe to handle. Yeah, it's having a little bit of trouble there, and I got mud in my eyes and on my face, but that's how we do it. Let's keep going with this. Yeah, this thing pretty much is garbage. We're gonna go to a bigger log here, and we'll see how that does. All right, guys, unfortunately I couldn't find any decent wood to test this axe out on. As you can see back there, it's just too wet, so we're gonna go ahead and end the testing here. Basically, I think that this right here is useless. I did try to cut through a smaller branch, and it didn't really do much. So I caution you guys in buying this. We're gonna take a walk over here now and see how these SOL cubes are doing, the Firecubes. We should be at about, want to say, about 8 minutes now since I started it. We'll see what it's done over here, or if it's even still lit. I'm really impressed with that little camp stove that I got and did a video on. These Firecubes, as you can see, we're barely at about, I guess, about 8.5 to 9 minutes, and that's pretty much completely out. So actually, I'm sorry, it's still going. But for the most part, it's out. We'll go ahead and stomp on it. We'll give it 9.5 minutes. Basically, that's close to what they advertise. They say it's good for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, guys. There's more testing coming up in the future. I have to find me a new spot to do some of my testing, somewhere deep in the woods and somewhere off the grid. Talk to you guys later.